So the question that helped sort of lead me along the path to becoming a farmer here is, first of all, discovering that I found this really interesting, having animals outside grazing on pasture, contributing to biodiversity through animal grazing in the local landscape and ecosystem where we live. So all these things really fascinated me, and that is a really good start when you find something that sort of leaves you asking more questions and leaves you feeling that I want to know more. What works in the place where you live? Like, what is possible to do right here? Not 2 kilometers away or 10 kilometers away or on the other side of the world. Not what somebody else is doing over there, but with your resource base, sort of, where you happen to live. Oh, this silage is pretty wet, so it makes it really heavy to move around. Hello, guys. So this one here, she's actually a heifer, but otherwise all of them are steers, castrated bulls, that is, for those who don't know. So getting back to the resource base is really important, because you need to define what that is. Like, what kind of social resources, what financial resources, what natural resources do you have at your disposal where you live? Time, for example, super important resource. How much time do you have for what you want to do? Especially in my case, starting out, both running a farm, starting that business, and starting our little family, that was a really important question. What do you think? What do you think about all this? It's beautiful. It's really quite beautiful. In my case, when it comes to context, like what is possible here, it took me a while to sort of figure that out. I started the business and the whole venture comparing myself to what others were doing and how others were farming, how they were running their businesses. Of course, you want to see others and you want to sort of copy, emulate, take what works for others and apply it in your life. And that works sometimes, but you have to really make sure it fits you and your life and the resources that you have around you. So for us, for example, resource base was that we have a lot of grazed pasture around the farm. We have a lot of biodiversity that needs to be taken care of by the grazing animals, and there are a lot of really good payment subsidies from Sweden and the EU, which makes it financially not really profitable, but at least it gives a little bit of money to keep animals on pasture during the summer. So seeing what resources we had around us at our disposal, we had a lot of grass, and basing our animal operation on grass-fed animals was basically sort of, it came very naturally, and it made it very easy to sort of take over this farm in the way that it had traditionally been run before. It had a purpose, it had a meaning, it made sense, and that sort of put things into more context for, you know, how I wanted to, what kind of animals I wanted to have, what kind of business I wanted to run. Selling the produce that we produced ourselves to people around us where we lived also made a lot of sense. That fit our context because we do live really close to a major city here in Sweden. That also made a lot of sense. So we knew that we needed to have animals. We knew that we wanted to sell direct to people around us. Those things were sort of in place. Another really important thing that I learned quite early on is that I need to have a clear definition about what success means to me. So measuring yourself to others and comparing yourself to others in order to measure success is a very bad benchmark. Instead, what I had to learn early on is to try to go back to your values and how what you are doing, is contributing to that. How are the things you're doing helping you live sort of the life that you want to live, that you dream about living? And how is it providing for the loved ones around you? How is it providing for your local community as well? And of course, how is it providing for the natural world? This snow turned really heavy really fast. I need to get this snow off so I can put the ventilation up, the tarp here, so the hens get a better airflow. So even though we have quite a bit of bedding down, as you can see, lots of straw, it does get a little bit on the smelly side, a little bit of this ammonia smell. It's not uncommon when you have these kinds of birds. So opening up on the sides here, whenever I get the chance, I open the ventilation on both sides. Even when it's cold, they don't mind. They do have this little hut or this little house to crawl back into if it gets really, really cold. We had minus 22 degrees Celsius in December. We had a real bad cold spell. Hello. So I built this little house that you see behind me, and we have 4 heat lamps in there, which keeps the water frost-free, and they can go in there and sit on their perches to warm up. But otherwise, these animals are really well insulated. They can handle pretty cold conditions. But they don't like when the snow falls off the greenhouse. They get a little spooked. Hello! All right, back to your friends. So, moments like these, so worth it. It's like all the horrible weather is just out of your mind. You don't think about it anymore. So this is what I can really appreciate and love about farming. You get to live outside, you get to interact with the elements, really. You're constantly adapting yourself, you're constantly trying to, you know, sync your mind to the ways of the weather. Is it a cold day? Is it a warm day? Is it a snowy day? Is it a rainy day? You know? And then you get moments like these. It's a reminder that life is precious and life is beautiful, and we cannot take it for granted, and we cannot waste our lives living in fear, living in regret, living in denial. We need to open our hearts to feeling gratitude, I think. Yeah, gratitude is probably one of the last lessons that I've learned on the farm over these years, that the best fuel to get things done is, of course, a lot of hard work and consistency, but also to find what you're grateful for. Small things in your life, in your daily life. Because even though sometimes it feels like there's only wind in our faces and it's holding us back, it's making things difficult to do, we always have wind in our backs. We always have something good going for us. There's always something positive in our lives. Like, it could be a person, it could be a situation, it could be an opportunity, whatever. There's always something that can give us strength. We need to sort of drink out of that fountain, if you know what I'm saying. So let me end maybe this week's video with a quote that I like to think about, especially when I meet people that I want to wish well. May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind always be in your back. Have a great week. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.